Man, I'll tell you what, being a kid, especially in early 2000s, I know very well it sucks. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of The Plague, a horror film that is directed by first-time director Charlie Polinger. So in this psychological horror drama, this film is about a kid named Ben who's played by Everett Blunck. He's a kid that is socially awkward. He is a little bit of an outcast, and he's trying to fit into this group of individuals, this group of kids who are 12 and 13 years old, who in essence are trying to navigate, puberty and the world that is youthhood. And they are in this camp that is a water polo camp. They're in the summer of 2003, and it becomes a story about how Ben has to navigate the world where these kids at any minute could turn on him. Plus, he meets a kid named Eli who is considered toxic to a lot of these kids by the fact that he has puberty issues, like rashes all over his body. He's not normal like a lot of kids. He has mental issues, and Ben himself finds him struck between the two sides where he wants to fit in. He wants to be part of the cool crowd, but he also wants to have empathy for the kid that is Eli. So therefore, he causes a lot of turmoil, which causes him to kind of lose self-control, which causes him to fall into this like psychosis or psychological downfall of a young kid in a world where puberty is hitting and kids are very mean individuals. So for the simple fact that this is the first feature from Charlie Polinger is pretty impressive because this movie has garnered like quite the raves at the film festivals. I saw this at the Miami Gems Film Festival, like I saw a lot of movies. And it's a movie that has been quoted as being one of the most realistic portrayals of what it's like for a kid growing up, being kind of an outcast, and how do you navigate that minefield, especially when you're hitting puberty and when you're hitting like the young adult phase of your life. And so bringing in a cast and adding in Joel Edgerton as kind of the adult figure is a pretty wise one because you can keep the budget low. You can have an individual like an adult like Joel Edgerton kind of help navigate these kids, and you have to have a sense, especially in this movie, to how to handle kids and how to make them look like real authentic young adults. And so I heard like a lot of really good things about this movie. Is garnered 100% Rotten Tomatoes. And for my honest opinion, my honest feeling of this movie, when I first saw this movie, because I've seen this movie twice now, the first time I saw it, I was kind of taken aback by how much I didn't really like this movie. And I'm not saying that the movie didn't hit me. I think I was more tired than anything, which could be a problem. But I think the movie didn't hit me because I didn't feel any empathy for any of the kids. But when I went back to watch this movie, when I went back to kind of figure out what I honestly and truly thought about the movie, I realized that this movie is more profound than I would give it credit for. This movie is so realistic in its portrayal of how kids treat kids, how kids become psychologically mortified by the things that are happening to them, especially to their body, especially to the social circles, that it almost kind of took me aback by why I didn't like this movie the first time. This movie is one of my favorite movies of the year. I've been saying this a lot, but this is one of my favorite movies of the year because it is so realistic. It's horrifying. Like the idea of growing up in a world where, kids treat kids horribly, and you're in this like stressful situation of a water polo camp, and you're trying to be friends with the outcast, but you're trying to also fit in. Watching these kids make fun of the kids, watching them have a good time. It's so realistic and so authentic to what it is like to be a young adult. It's just kind of scary, and that's what this movie does. It's really scary, and it puts in the awkward situations, and the kids make stupid decisions and stupid, they're kids acting out as kids, and they do things that are kids. They see young girls and they get, excited by it, and they talk like dirty dirty sailors, and they see a young kid and they make fun of the young kid. It's stuff that I went through as a kid and I went through as a young adult, and I still remember to this day because Charlie Polinger has done something remarkable where authentically put kids out there to do what kids do, which is be morons and idiots and be just kind of weird and awkward. And I give a lot of credit to Everett Blunck, or Blunck, or however you say his last name, because there's a lot of weight put on his shoulders about how he has to portray himself. And he may not be like this in real life, but it's remarkable how realistic it feels and how authentic it feels. And watching Eli just be kind of the outcast and the kind of the weird kid, and watching Eli struggle for that is just it's so well put together. It really is. Watching Joel Edgerton bash these kids down to make them feel sympathy and empathy, and watching them not react to it, watching them do what kids do. I mean, I remember this kind of stuff. I remember it really well. I was the individual Ben in this movie, where the teachers helped me out in these situations where things were just not going very well. And the most profound thing about this movie, the one thing that hit me hardest, is when Ben is being tortured by these kids because he was helping out Eli, and him and Daddy Wags, it's weird they call him Daddy Wags, but the coach, played by Joel Edgerton, are sitting in a diner, and Joel Edgerton talks about how he was treated, his character was treated as a young kid, and how he kind of worked through it. And Ben asked him, is this how it's always going to be? He says, no, when you're in your 30s and 40s is when you really find yourself. And it's true. I mean, it's really true. It's you have to get through these unfortunate dark times that you're going to go through to become a better adult and to become a more sustained adult. And that's what this movie is doing. It's showing how kids are kids, and they don't know any better, and they don't act any better. And it does lead to some really uncomfortable things that happen at the end, and some really dark things that happen with Eli and Ben's character especially. But it's horrifying. Puberty and growing up is a horrifying thing, because you're trying to fit in, you're trying to be one of the cool ones, you're trying to be somebody who you can't be. And then when you grow out of that, you go to college. If you ever watch Boyhood, it's the very same thing. When you go to college and all that stuff, your life changes, everything changes. And the one other thing I have to say is Kayo Martin as Jake is profound in this movie, because, though Everett Blunck's character Ben is the standout of this movie, Jake is an individual who has to portray himself as a jerk, as a kid who's the alpha of the group, who Ben tries to be part of. And Jake just has his own logical thinking, and there's a level of depthness to his character similar to Ben. There's just something underlying, just kind of, you realize that this kid, as Daddy Wags says, is somebody who's just flawed and is going through, things at home that cause him to act out like he does. And when he kind of portrays himself, and when it comes to the conclusion of this movie, there's just a profound sense of sadness to his character. So he's not an evil character. He's just a kid who is put into a scenario that is pretty much if you want to be popular. There's things underlying that really cause you to do this. And the kid's really good. All the kids are really good, but he's especially really good in this movie. So I can't tell you enough about how much this movie just kind of affected me, especially on the second turn, because it is insanely well put together. It really is. Is it going to get Oscar worthy love? I don't know. I think the music by Johann Lennox is absolutely riveting. It really fits the mood to this movie. It's horrifying, and it's kind of really unsettling and disturbing. This movie's disturbing. It's unsettling, and it does it really well. But the music adds that layer of disturbing consequences, and The Plague is a phenomenal film. It really is. It's going to go high on my list for a reason. And when you get a chance to see this movie, you'll understand why you are one of these kids. They have discussions about women. They have discussions about Star Wars. They have discussions about everything, and this movie just kind of blew me away the second time I watched it. And I feel bad that I didn't like this movie the first time. But once again, when you go to a film festival, sometimes your thoughts are a little wonky. So I definitely had to watch this a second time. So that's my take on The Plague. I absolutely love this movie. I definitely recommend it. And it's a hard watch, but it is definitely one worth your wait. So there you go. But with that said, that is my take on The Plague. I do appreciate you watching my review. In the comments below, what was childhood like for you? Was it something that you remember fondly? Was it something like me you don't remember fondly? Let me know why. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.